just as Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam was hidden in a well before he was honored in a palace, sometimes Allah hides you because your story needs silence before success. My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes life slows down in ways we don't expect. You wake up one day and everything just feels quiet. Too quiet. People who used to check on you don't anymore. Messages that once filled your phone stop coming. Gatherings go on without you. Opportunities pass by as if they never saw you standing there. You begin to wonder, why is everything fading around me? Why does it feel like I've become invisible? Like no one sees me, no one hears me, no one remembers me anymore? And then the painful thoughts begin to whisper, did I do something wrong? Am I falling behind? Has Allah forgotten me too? But let me tell you something very important. Something your heart needs to hear right now. You are not forgotten. And this silence you're sitting in, this strange, still, quiet season of your life is not a punishment. It is a soft, divine protection. You see, there are places in this world that look beautiful, that shine from the outside, but they would have broken your soul on the inside. There are people who smile with you, but behind the smile is a storm you can't survive. There are circles where your name might be known, but your sincerity would be lost. And because Allah loves you, He didn't let you go there. He didn't let you be seen by the people who would have only used your goodness for their own gain. He didn't let you get the position, the promotion, the attention, because He saw what you didn't. And what did He see? He saw the pride that might have entered your heart. He saw the wrong path that looked right to you. He saw the people you trusted who didn't truly care for you. He saw the damage that success too early, too fast would have done to your soul. So He hid you. He hid you not because you were less, but because you were worth too much. He hid your name from certain conversations because those rooms would have stripped your peace. He made people forget you because their praise was a poison that would have harmed your heart. He slowed down your life so your iman could speed up. Sometimes Allah takes you out of sight, not to make you feel small, but to build you quietly into someone unshakable. Because what He's building inside you is more important than what the world sees outside you. My brothers and sisters, even the prophets were hidden before they were revealed. Even Yusuf alayhi salam was thrown into a well, alone, scared and unseen, before Allah raised him up to a position of honor. That darkness wasn't the end of his story. It was the beginning of Allah's most beautiful chapter. So if you are in a dark season, a quiet season, a season where no one seems to notice or care, please don't assume the worst. Don't believe the lie that you are forgotten, because you're not. You are known by the one who created you. You are seen by the one who sees into hearts. You are being prepared by the one who knows when to lift and when to hold. There is a kind of silence that's filled with divine mercy. There is a kind of loneliness that's full of hidden company. And there is a kind of delay that's not a punishment, but a sign of how deeply Allah cares about your future. He is not rushing your journey, because what's ahead requires a strong, sincere heart. And that's what He's building right now. In the quiet, in the shadows, while no one else sees. Sometimes you're not missing out on anything. You're just being protected from something. So be gentle with yourself. Don't blame your worth on people's silence. Don't measure your value by who calls, who praises, who remembers. Because the one who never forgets you is the one who matters most. And if Allah has hidden you from the world for now, it's only because He's preparing to reveal you in a way that brings peace to your heart and no regret to your soul. Stay patient, stay sincere, and keep walking Even if no one sees you, because Allah sees you. He hears every sigh. He knows every tear. And He responds to every quiet dua whispered in the dark. He's closer than the world ever was. And His timing is always worth the wait. Allah is hiding you from the eyes that would have poisoned your peace. My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever wondered why your name didn't get mentioned when you hoped it would? Why you weren't chosen? Why you were left out of rooms that looked perfect from the outside? Why your path didn't cross with people you admired or longed to be close to? You did your part. You stayed kind. You showed up with sincerity. You were ready to give your heart, your time, your loyalty. But somehow your presence was ignored. Your value went unnoticed. Your existence felt invisible, and it hurt. It made you question yourself. It made you feel like maybe you're not enough. Maybe you're lacking. Maybe you just don't matter. But let me remind you, from the depths of divine wisdom, you were not overlooked. You were protected. You were not forgotten. You were shielded. Because the eyes that were meant to see you, the ones that would have honored your worth, that would have protected your softness, that would have guarded your purity, they haven't arrived yet. The ones who did see you, some of them carried harm behind their smile. Some of them would have praised you outwardly, while slowly crushing your spirit inwardly. So Allah in His mercy hid you. He veiled you. He made them blind to your beauty, not because you weren't beautiful, but because your light was too sacred to be handled by careless hearts. You don't leave precious diamonds lying out in the open. You don't reveal gold before it's guarded. You don't place delicate souls in the hands of those who don't fear Allah. So when Allah saw what you couldn't see, He said, not here, not with them, not yet. You see, not every platform is safe. Not every opportunity is pure. Not every compliment comes from a clean heart. There are people who speak softly but intend to harm. There are spaces that seem spiritual, but their energy is toxic. There are friendships that begin with light but end in fire. And Allah knows this. So He pulls you back before you even know what you're walking into. Maybe you applied for something and didn't get it. Maybe you offered your love and were rejected. Maybe you tried to belong and it just didn't work. And maybe that was the biggest mercy of your life. Because Allah saw what you couldn't. He saw how your spirit would have slowly suffocated in that space. He saw how your clarity would have been clouded. He saw how your sincerity would have been drained. Piece by piece, until nothing was left but exhaustion. So He covered you. He hid your name. He silenced the noise. And even though it felt like rejection, it was protection at its highest level. My brothers and sisters, sometimes you wonder why your story is so quiet, why your rise is so slow, why your face hasn't been recognized, why your name hasn't reached far. But know this, if Allah is hiding you, it's not because you're unworthy. It's because your heart is too pure to be placed in a space that isn't pure. The peace you carry, the softness, the sincerity, the silent strength, it's rare. And rare things are not left in the open. They're guarded, they're wrapped, they're revealed only at the right moment to the right people. And until that moment arrives, until those souls arrive, Allah will continue to keep you out of sight. Because He's not just protecting your body, He's protecting your soul. He's not just hiding you from strangers. He's hiding you from people who look trustworthy, but carry jealousy, manipulation, comparison, and darkness. Some of those people were not sent to love you. They were sent to distract you, to flatter your ego, to make you forget why you were placed on this earth, to entertain your emotions but suffocate your connection with Allah. And Allah will not allow that. He loves you too much. He values your sincerity too deeply. So He hides you, not to delay you, but to purify the path ahead of you, to clear the air, to remove the poison before you take your first breath in a new chapter. Even now, the delay you're experiencing, the quietness in your life, it might not be about what you need to gain. It might be about what you need to be protected from. Because when you rush into places Allah hasn't cleared for you, you end up carrying burdens that were never yours. You absorb energies that confuse your soul. You build friendships that shake your faith. And slowly, you begin to feel lost. So if Allah is keeping you hidden, if He's placing a veil over your presence, then thank Him. Because that veil is mercy. It's clarity. It's peace. Even if the world doesn't see you now, the one who matters sees you every second. And when the time is right, when the space is safe, and the people are ready, and your heart is prepared, Allah will reveal you. But not a second before it's safe for your soul. So until then, breathe. Trust Him. Don't chase attention. Don't mourn what left. Don't beg to be seen in places that Allah Himself is hiding you from. You are not being left behind. You are being shielded. You are not being rejected. You are being refined. You are not being forgotten. You are being loved so deeply, so gently, by the one who never lets a single moment of your silence go to waste. And one day, you'll look back and say, Alhamdulillah, He hid me because what I thought I wanted would have cost me the peace I never knew I needed. My brothers and sisters, there's a special kind of ache that comes from waiting. Not the kind where you're waiting in line, but the kind where your heart is waiting for change, for movement, for answers. You wake up day after day, hoping for something to finally shift. You do everything right. You stay patient. You keep praying. You try your best, but still nothing moves. You're not lazy. You're not ungrateful. You're just tired of the silence. And so your heart begins to whisper, why is it taking so long? Why is my life not moving? Why does everyone else seem to be moving forward except me? And slowly, the delay starts to feel like rejection. It starts to feel like punishment. It starts to feel like maybe you're just not meant for something more. But let me hold your heart with this reminder. Not all delays are holding you back. Some delays are actually pulling you closer to Allah. They are not wasted time. They are sacred invitations. You may think nothing is happening, but behind the curtain, Allah is moving everything inside of you. You may not be getting the job, the answer, the spouse, the opportunity, but in the delay, you're getting something far more powerful. You're getting a heart that begins to depend only on Allah. Because when the world stops responding, you finally turn to the one who never stopped listening. And that, my brothers and sisters, is the beginning of a new life. You begin to notice things you didn't before. The way your hands rise a little slower in dua, but with more sincerity. The way you fall into sujood, not out of habit, but because your soul has no other refuge left. The way tears start to fall again, not from pain alone, but from relief that at least you're still holding on to Him. The delay teaches you how to speak to Allah. When no one else is speaking to you, it teaches you how to rely on Him. When your own plans fall apart, it strips away the pride of your timeline and replaces it with the beauty of His wisdom. And in that space, you become someone you never expected to be. Softer, more trusting, more aware of your weaknesses, but also more in awe of Allah's mercy. Sometimes the reason Allah doesn't let the doors open yet is because you're still walking with a heart that's not ready. A heart that still wants to be seen by people before it's truly seen by Him. So He delays, not to hurt you, but to detox you, to cleanse your intentions, to refine your inner voice, until the only one you long to please is Him. The delay makes your du'as deeper. It makes your nights quieter. It makes your thoughts more sincere. It breaks the illusions you didn't know you were depending on. It shows you the false hopes you were tying your worth to. And little by little, it pulls you into the kind of tawakkul that no lecture could teach. You stop asking, when will this end? And you start asking, what is Allah building in me while I wait? Because sometimes the breakthrough isn't outside you, it's inside you. The job may not come yet, but maybe your ego just lowered for the first time in years. The relationship may still be out of reach, but maybe you finally let go of people who weren't good for your deen. The house, the title, the goal, they're still on the horizon, but maybe Allah delayed them so that when they do come, they don't pull you away from Him. You see, it's not just about what Allah gives. It's about who you become while He prepares to give it. And sometimes He takes extra time because He knows how fragile our hearts are. He knows how easily we attach to the gift and forget the giver. So He waits. He waits until your attachment is no longer in the outcome, but in His decision. He waits until your heart can say, even if I don't get what I want, as long as I have You, Ya Allah, I'm okay. That's the moment your soul graduates. That's the moment you rise without anything changing externally, because everything shifted internally. The delay gave you a relationship with Allah that the blessing could never have taught you. Because some lessons are only learnt in longing, in waiting, in surrender. So, my brothers and sisters, if you feel like your life is frozen, if it seems like all your doors are locked, know that the one who holds the keys is not ignoring you. He's drawing you closer. He's silencing the world around you so you can finally hear His whispers. He's emptying your path of distractions so your soul can walk back to Him without the weight. And when you reach that point, when your heart finally feels calm, even while your plans feel paused, that's when you'll know you were never being held back. You were being pulled in, closer, softer, stronger. And soon, when the time is right, He will give you what you once begged for. But by then, you'll be someone new, someone who doesn't just receive the blessing, but protects it with humility, honors it with gratitude, and uses it to walk even closer to the one who delayed it. So be patient. Don't resent the delay. Thank Allah for loving you enough to withhold what wasn't meant to arrive yet. Because if the delay made you pray more, cry more, trust more, and grow more, then it didn't set you back. It brought you home. When people leave, it's Allah clearing the way. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are few pains as sharp as the pain of watching someone walk away from your life. Someone you cared for, someone you thought would stay, someone you gave your time to, your kindness to, your trust to, and suddenly they're gone. Sometimes without even saying goodbye, sometimes with a silence so cold it makes you question everything, not just about them, but about yourself. You sit there wondering, what did I do wrong? Was I not enough? Did I deserve this? You replay every conversation in your mind, every small moment, every message, every memory, and still no closure, just an ache that lingers in your chest. a quiet ache that no one else sees, because no one knows how tightly you held on. No one knows how deeply you cared, but Allah knows, Allah sees. And today I want to share something your heart might not believe yet, but one day it will thank Allah for. That person who walked away was not taken from you to harm you. They were removed to clear your path. You see, sometimes we beg Allah for peace. We ask Him for clarity. We cry for direction. And we don't realize that the very peace we are praying for requires the removal of people we've been depending on more than Him. There are people who enter our lives with beautiful words, but carry heavy energies. People who feel comforting for a moment, but carry distractions that slowly dim our light. And because Allah is most merciful, He doesn't let you walk too far with them. He cuts the thread, not out of cruelty, but out of love, because you didn't see what He saw. You saw loyalty. He saw limitation. You saw chemistry. He saw spiritual confusion. You saw potential. He saw delay. And He knows if you kept walking with them, you would have missed what was truly meant for you. So He ended it. He allowed the connection to dissolve. He let the conversations go dry. He placed distance where there was once closeness, because what you thought was comfort was actually clouding your clarity. What you thought was loyalty was quietly draining your energy. What you thought was love was laced with attachments that would have pulled you away from your purpose. Sometimes Allah has to let someone break your heart in order to rebuild your soul. And yes, it hurts. Yes, you miss them. Yes, you wish things could have turned out differently. But one day, you'll look back and say, if they stayed, I would have never become who I am today. There are people whose presence delays your growth, whose words confuse your guidance, whose friendship feeds your ego, but not your iman. And because Allah wants better for you, He doesn't let you stay where your soul isn't being nurtured. He clears the way. He makes space. You may not realize it now, but that person leaving created an opening for something far more pure to enter. Because as long as you're still holding on to what wasn't written for you, you won't have space to receive what is. Sometimes it's not about what they did wrong. Sometimes it's about who you're becoming. And who you are becoming can no longer carry the weight of who you once were. So Allah removes the people tied to your old identity, your old patterns, your old emotional habits. He's making room for the version of you that will finally walk in alignment with your purpose. The version of you that knows how to love without losing yourself, that knows how to give without burning out, that knows how to stay soft without staying silent about what hurts, that knows how to connect without compromising your deen. And sometimes that new version can't be born until certain people leave. You see, endings aren't always about others doing wrong. Sometimes they're about Allah saying, you've outgrown this. You've outgrown that dynamic. You've outgrown that silence. You've outgrown that cycle of trying to prove your worth to someone who never saw you clearly. So don't chase what Allah has ended. Don't mourn what He has removed. Don't beg for doors that no longer open. Because when Allah closes something, it means He's finished writing that chapter. And if you try to keep reading the same page, you'll miss the new one filled with blessings. My brothers and sisters, sometimes the pain of people leaving is Allah answering your prayer for peace. It's not a loss. It's a lesson. It's a redirection. It's a silent rescue. You thought they were your companion, but they were just a character in a short scene. Allah wrote them into your story for a reason, but He never meant for them to last the whole book. So release them. with grace, with gratitude, with trust that what's ahead will make sense of everything that didn't. And if your heart still aches, if you still miss them at night, speak to Allah about them. Give their memory back to the one who gave them to you in the first place. Because Allah knows what you shed. He knows what you lost. And He knows how to refill what was emptied. Just keep walking. Even if your heart feels heavy. Even if you feel lonely. Even if the memories make you cry. Because the path ahead is being cleared. And soon, someone will arrive not to distract you, not to confuse you, not to test you, but to walk beside you with peace, with clarity, and with purpose. And you look back at today and say, Alhamdulillah, that person left, because if they stayed, I wouldn't have had the space to receive what was always meant for me. My brothers and sisters, there are days when you feel like the world has moved on without you. You scroll through your phone and you see others rising, getting married, starting businesses, traveling, celebrated. You see smiles, announcements, achievements, and you look at your own life and everything feels paused, quiet, still. You start to wonder, why isn't my name being called? Why is no one recognizing my efforts? Why does it feel like I'm standing in the shadows while everyone else walks in the light? And the most dangerous thought begins to whisper in your mind, maybe I've been forgotten. Maybe Allah isn't paying attention to me anymore. But today, I want you to hear this with your whole heart. You are not forgotten. You are not being ignored. You are being protected. Yes, protected. You see, there's a difference between being unseen and being shielded. You're not invisible to Allah. You're invisible for a reason. When Allah hides you, it's not to deny your worth. It's to preserve your worth in places that cannot understand it. You might think you're ready to be known, to be chosen, to be recognized. But Allah knows how soft your heart still is. He knows how easily the wrong attention could destroy your sincerity. So He hides you. He keeps you in the quiet. He lets people overlook you, not because they're right, but because their attention is not worth the cost of your inner peace. You see, not all attention is good attention. Not all recognition is clean. There are moments when being seen too early can lead to pride, to distractions, to painful expectations that tear you away from who you're meant to become. So Allah, in His wisdom, covers you like a gardener covers a delicate sprout. He knows your roots are still forming. He knows the winds of people's opinions could damage your growth. And so He shelters you, not because He's punishing you, but because He's nurturing you. Even the best fruits are hidden before they're ripe. Even the most beautiful flowers bloom in silence before anyone sees them. So why would your journey be any different? The Prophet Muhammad Sallam, the greatest human to walk this earth, was hidden before he was revealed. He spent years in quiet, years being prepared, years being built from within. And when Allah finally revealed him, he was ready. His character was unshakable. His soul was purified. His heart was protected. That wasn't rejection. That was divine preparation. So if your life feels hidden right now, if you feel like no one sees your effort, your heart, your potential, take a deep breath and remind yourself, Allah sees, and His seeing is enough. Because it's better to be seen by the one who matters most than to be applauded by people who don't even know your soul. Sometimes the crowd claps for what looks good, even if it's hollow on the inside. Sometimes the world lifts up voices that are loud, even if their hearts are lost. And Allah doesn't want that for you. He wants your rise to be real. He wants your light to come from sincerity. He wants your heart to be strong. So when the world finally sees you, you won't lose yourself trying to keep their praise. And maybe that's why He's keeping you hidden. Because He's still protecting you from the addiction of being liked, from the fear of being judged, from the temptation of becoming someone you're not, just to fit into a world that doesn't even fit your soul. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being grown silently, carefully, lovingly. And when Allah decides to reveal you, it will not be because the world was ready. It will be because your patience made you humble. Your silence made you sincere. Your quietness gave you clarity. And your isolation drew you closer to Allah in ways the crowd never could. So don't rush this season. Don't wish it away. Don't compare your quiet growth to someone else's noisy success. Your hiddenness is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's mercy. It's divine safety. And if it feels lonely sometimes, if the silence stings, then use that space to sit with the one who never leaves. Talk to Him. Cry to Him. Tell Him what you wish others would ask about. And watch how He responds in ways no human ever could. Because even in your hiddenness, even in the moments when you feel most invisible, you are seen, you are known, you are loved. And when the time is right, when your soul is strong enough to carry the blessing without being crushed by it, when your sincerity is deep enough to survive attention, when your intentions are pure enough to protect your peace, Allah will reveal you, but not for the world's applause. He'll reveal you because your story has become a reflection of His mercy. And no one, not a single person, will be able to stop what He has already written for you. So hold on. Don't be discouraged by the delay. Don't be disheartened by the silence. Don't confuse being hidden with being forgotten. Because the one who is hiding you is also the one preparing to elevate you in a way that no one will understand, but everyone will witness. And you look back at today and say, Alhamdulillah, I wasn't forgotten. I was protected. I was being prepared. And when the world didn't see me, my Rabb never looked away. The loneliness you hate might be the closeness you've been begging for. My beloved brothers and sisters, there's a type of silence that's louder than noise. A type of emptiness that fills every corner of the room. Even when you're surrounded by people, you can be sitting in a crowded house. You can have messages on your phone and still feel like no one truly sees you. Like no one really hears what's inside you. Or maybe it's even more quiet than that. Maybe it's been days or weeks since someone truly checked on you. Since someone asked how your heart was holding up. And so a heavy question begins to echo in your chest. Why do I feel so alone? You've been patient. You've been kind. You've been showing up for others. But when it's your turn, the silence is deafening. And you start to think, maybe I'm meant to be alone. Maybe this loneliness is a punishment. Maybe something's wrong with me. But today I want to tell you something that may feel difficult to believe right now. But it comes from a place of deep truth. The loneliness you're feeling might not be abandonment. It might be divine intimacy. You see, we often ask Allah to bring us closer to Him. We say, Ya Allah, draw me nearer to you. Ya Allah, I want to feel you more. Ya Allah, I want to hear your guidance clearly. And do you know what Allah sometimes does in response? He removes the noise. He removes the distractions. He removes the people, not because they were bad, but because they were louder than the voice of your own soul. Sometimes Allah brings you closer to Him by placing you in a room where no one else is left. And it's there in that silence that your heart finally has space to speak. You've been surrounded for so long by expectations, conversations, responsibilities, and noise that you forgot what it felt like to just sit with yourself, to just be with Allah, to just breathe and not perform. So Allah, in His kindness, pulls you away from the crowd, not to isolate you, but to bring you home. Because some forms of closeness can only be found in solitude. Some tears will only fall when no one is watching. Some du'as are only whispered when you're left with no one else to talk to. And that's not loneliness. That's a sacred meeting between you and the one who never leaves. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels empty. Yes, you miss the warmth of human presence. But that ache in your chest, that ache is proof that your soul is awake and Allah is near. You're not being punished. You're being purified. You're not being abandoned. You're being invited to a deeper kind of closeness that the noise of life was drowning out. Some of the greatest moments of spiritual transformation happen not in groups, but in silence. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he stood alone against a nation. Musa alayhi salam, he wandered the desert alone before revelation came. Maryam alayhi salam, she withdrew to a quiet place when her heart needed refuge. Even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu was alone in the cave of Hira when the first revelation came to him. Why? Because when the heart is alone, it finally listens. When the world is quiet, the soul finally speaks. And when no one else is around, we begin to remember that we were never alone to begin with. Sometimes you have to be emptied to know what truly fills you. Sometimes you have to lose the crowd to realize you were being followed by Allah all along. And maybe that's what this season is about. Maybe this silence isn't a wall, but a window. A window to see yourself again. A window to remember that you don't need to constantly be needed to be valuable. You don't need constant affirmation to be loved by your Creator. My dear brothers and sisters, your worth was never in the number of people who check on you. It was never in the number of friends around you. It was never in being busy all the time. Sometimes the most powerful seasons of life are the ones where Allah strips everything away so that only He remains. And it's in those moments that you begin to realize how much peace there is. In just being known by Him, you're not being overlooked. You're not forgotten. You're not behind. You are being brought to a place where the presence of Allah will mean more to you than the presence of anyone else ever did. And when that closeness settles into your soul, when you begin to find comfort in your conversations with Allah, when your heart starts whispering, Ya Allah, I'm not alone, I'm just with you. That's when the loneliness turns into light. And you'll carry that light into every room you enter. Even when you walk alone, you'll walk with a peace that others will feel but not understand. And that's okay, because you'll know you found something in the silence that the world could never give you. So don't rush out of this season. Don't try to fill it too quickly. Let the silence speak. Let it show you the strength you forgot you had. Let it show you how soft your heart still is. Let it draw you back to your Rabb. He didn't bring you to this quiet place to leave you here. He brought you here so He could walk with you one step at a time, back to yourself and back to Him. And when the time is right, when your soul has rested, when your heart has healed, when your connection with Allah becomes your foundation, He will place people in your life who don't disturb your peace. They protect it. Who don't fill a void. They walk beside you in what Allah has already made full. But until then, be content in the silence, because the one who placed you in it is the one who fills it with His mercy, and He is enough. You were not delayed. You were being refined in private. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are seasons in your life where it feels like everything has slowed down, like time is passing but your progress isn't. Like the world keeps moving while you're just standing still. You try, you pray, you put in the effort, you do your part, but still nothing happens. No major breakthroughs, no clear changes, no signs that anything is moving. And slowly, a thought begins to form in your heart. Maybe I'm just being delayed. Maybe I'm falling behind. You look left and right. You see people starting families. You see others growing their businesses. You hear of friends traveling, succeeding, reaching new milestones. And you sit quietly in your own life wondering, why am I still here? Why hasn't anything changed? Why do I feel forgotten? But today, let me hold your heart with this reminder. You were not delayed. You were being refined in private. Because the delay you feel is not a sign that Allah has forgotten you. It's a sign that He's preparing you. Not publicly, not loudly, not with announcements or celebrations, but silently, softly, one quiet day at a time. You see, the most powerful transformations rarely happen where people can see them. The seed doesn't grow on the surface. It grows buried beneath the earth, where no one claps, where no one posts about it, where no one notices. But deep within that soil, the seed is doing something remarkable. It's breaking, it's changing shape, it's growing roots. And those roots, they're everything. Because without them, the plant can never rise. Without them, the bloom would fall the moment a storm arrives. So Allah, in His wisdom, keeps you in the soil a little longer. Because He's not just trying to show the world a flower. He's trying to build someone who can withstand the storm. And that kind of person, that kind of strength takes time. So don't resent the quiet. Don't curse the stillness. Don't think you're falling behind just because others are rising publicly while you're still hidden privately. Because what Allah is doing inside you is more important than anything happening outside you. You may not have seen the results yet, but your heart is softening. Your faith is strengthening. Your connection with Allah is deepening. You're unlearning pride. You're shedding ego. You're letting go of who you thought you were supposed to be. So you can become who Allah created you to be. That's not a delay. That's refinement. It's Allah holding you back from the spotlight. So your sincerity stays intact. It's Allah keeping you out of certain circles. So your peace isn't traded for popularity. It's Allah slowing down your story. So when the rise comes, it comes with substance. Because some people rise quickly, only to fall just as fast. But you're being built to last. You're being built in the unseen. You're being shaped by stillness. And that kind of building, it's sacred. You're not behind. You're not missing out. You're being equipped with what you'll need to carry what's coming. Allah knows what's ahead for you. He knows the weight of the blessings you've been praying for. He knows the responsibilities attached to your dreams. He knows the pressure that comes with being seen, being followed, being admired. And He knows that without the right internal strength, those very things could destroy you. So He hides you. He refines you. He removes you from view. Not because you're not ready to be seen, but because the world is not yet ready to witness who you're becoming. And maybe you're not even ready to meet that version of you yet either. You're still learning how to trust again. You're still learning how to surrender when things don't go your way. You're still learning how to stay sincere in a world that praises performance. So Allah gives you time. Time to grow quietly. Time to reflect. Time to root your identity in Him, not in people. And maybe that's the greatest blessing of all. to become someone who rises, not because of followers, but because of faith, not because of trends, but because of trust in Allah. So if life feels slow right now, if it seems like no doors are opening, if you've been doing everything right and nothing is changing, then smile. Because maybe, just maybe, that's a sign you're being protected from premature exposure. That's a sign you're being refined in private. So your rise comes with peace, with clarity, with strength. You're not stuck. You're not stagnant. You're not behind. You're becoming, and becoming something beautiful takes time. So breathe and be patient. Because when Allah finally reveals the version of you He's been shaping, even you will be surprised at what you're capable of. And you look back at this quiet, confusing season and you'll say, Alhamdulillah for the stillness, because it gave birth to the strength I never knew I had. The one who concealed you is the same one who will reveal you when you're ready. My beloved brothers and sisters, there comes a point in your life where you've waited for so long, you start to wonder if your turn will ever come. You've watched others rise. You've cheered for their success. You've smiled through their moments of celebration. And you're happy for them. You truly are. But deep inside there's a quiet question forming. When will it be me? When will I be chosen? When will Allah allow me to step into the light He placed inside me? You're not jealous. You're just tired of feeling like you've been hidden, not seen, not called upon, not celebrated for the sincerity you carry, the effort you've given, the pain you've endured in silence. And it can begin to feel like maybe this is it. Maybe this invisibility is your story. Maybe your chapter of rising will never come. But today, I want you to pause and take a deep breath, because there is something you may have forgotten in the silence. The one who concealed you is the same one who will reveal you when you're truly ready. Yes, Allah, the one who wrote your story before anyone knew your name, the one who sees your heart before anyone sees your highlight reel, the one who has been listening to your quiet du'as, even when you whispered them with tears in your pillow, not with words on your tongue. He knows. He knows every step you've taken toward Him. He knows the people you forgave that no one else knew about. He knows the temptations you walked away from, even when your heart felt weak. He knows the dreams you placed in sujood night after night when no one else was awake to hear your pain. And do you really think the one who recorded all of that would forget you now? He never forgot you. He's been watching. He's been writing. He's been arranging something so beautiful. You wouldn't have believed it if He showed you early. But the thing is, sometimes if He reveals you too soon, you won't be able to carry it. The weight of it would overwhelm you. The blessing would outshine the strength, and the attention would steal your peace. So He hides you until your heart is strong enough to be seen without becoming arrogant, until your soul is stable enough to carry the blessing without forgetting the giver, until your relationship with Him becomes so sincere that you'd still be content even if you were never seen. That's when He begins to open the doors. Not just any doors, the right ones. The ones that don't require you to compromise your peace. The ones that don't demand that you shrink yourself to fit in. The ones that allow you to be who He made you to be, without performance, without pretending. You see, anyone can rise, but not everyone rises with barakah. Not everyone rises with peace in their soul and light in their heart. That kind of rising, that kind of reveal